Hi everyone, good evening. So this is new open source tool called Stratus Red Team. Okay, so this why we need this uh, right now we are focusing for this A security and cyber security as part of the AI and cyber security, and we need to understand how we can able to create for the real world attack techniques. So that particular using this tool we can able to create various attacks. Then we can ensure that our product and our solutions, our cloud solutions, these all properly secure. Okay, because we are exposing all our applications to cloud as well as for this AI agents with help of LLM. So before going to start some you need to know some terminologies. This is very important, like CTEM, AI, TISM, okay, open web application security projects, red team, blue team, purple team, penetration testing, MITRE attack, MITRE ATLAS, TTP, SIM, incident response, vulnerability assessments, data exfiltrations, IAM, and personally identifiable informations. And these are the terminologies just you should know before start for the red teaming role and responsibilities. CTAM is continuous threat exposure management. It is a proactive cyber security approach that continues to identify, assess, and mitigate the threats in real time across the organizations. This AI threat and risk intelligence sharing model, a framework leveraging AI to collect and analysis, share threat intelligence, enabling real-time risk assessments and collaborative defense against cyber threats. CTEM and AI TRISM, I'll detail I'll take for this coming sessions. And open web application security project, and this is non-profit organizations that's predominantly focusing for this agent and LLM security. The red team, blue team. Red team is this is the team is trying to simulate real world cyber attacks. Blue team is responsible for monitoring and detecting and responding the threats. Purple team is the collaboration between the blue team and red team. And penetration testing is it's ethical hacker to exploit system vulnerability, typically with prior notice to organizations. So this is like we need to do the functional testing. So that's sort of other application testing. The MITRE attack is nothing. It's tactic and techniques how we can reproduce or how we can create various attacks in the networks and the solutions. Then MITRE ATLAS, it's a framework, and they have all the tactics how we can reproduce various attacks. TTPs, tactics, techniques, and procedures. Then the next thing is called SIM, Security Information and Event Management, that aggregates and analyzes security logs in real time to detect and respond to incidents. An incident response that you know normally, it is any identifying and giving the solutions. Vulnerability assessments, data exfiltrations, this unauthorized transfer of data from system. IAM, I think many people knows that framework managing for digital identities and controlling access to resources. And personally identifiable information, data that can be used to identify the individual, especially name, social security numbers, email address, recurring protection during the threat analysis. So this is mainly when you are collecting all the data from the various sources, when you are constructing for this ETL pipeline and storing into data cloud in this landing layer. So that time actually we need to ensure that we are not exposing for this username and passwords and the email the email IDs. Okay, so the detailed things. The personally identifiable information detection in threat data involves identifying sensitive personal data. That's what I told. Okay, so the red team, right, during attack simulations they will be tried to reproduce it. So how if you reproduce, if you providing for the email ID and other sensitive informations, how attacker can make use of that and how they can attack. So that's okay, so that's the thing. And there is other terminology called detonate. Detonate command is status red team is core CLI function to use execute specific attack techniques against the target cloud environment. So most of the attacks we are trying to reproduce on the cloud environment, and this is the thing. This okay. So using the Stratus Red Team tool, you can able to reproduce cloud security related use cases as well as for this AI related use case. You can able to produce this attacks, and so that you can able to assess your security posters. Okay, so what is the red team role and responsibility? The red team act as advisory using ethical hacking techniques to simulate real world cyber attacks on organization systems and networks and applications. Why status red team is needed? Okay, status red team is developed. Okay, this is that open source tool which is developed by the data dark, and this is predominantly enabling security to simulate for the real world techniques in AWS, Azure, GCP, Kubernetes, and Entra ID. It addresses for the critical needs in the cloud security. So the as per the data, the as per this data, with 80% of breaches tried misconfigured of the cloud assets. That's what they have identified. And detection and validation into SIM systems, detect cloud attacks, minimize the false negatives. Okay, so because of the AI, and we need to develop the skills. So that's what you can use this tool to skill your development on this. For the cyber attacks. Okay, as well as you need to compliance and assurance supports for this. It supports for the NIST 853, and it also support for this OWASP through controlled. Current challenges in cloud security, ephemeral infrastructure, tooling gaps, alert fatigue, permission complexity, lack of automations. So Stratus Team automate cloud attack emulations align with MITRE ATT&CK and integrate seamlessly with security workflows and making indispensable for modern cloud security. The core repository information. So this is the open source, and you can able to see this in the GitHub. So this particular application has been segregated into three major segments. One is in attack simulations and control validations and team training. Attack simulation executes different techniques and tactics for how to reproduce for the attacking scenarios. And control validations verify the security controls for monitoring the attacks. Team training, okay, how we can educate the red teams and SOC. This is a security operations center analysis on the cloud threats. Okay, these are the diagram. You see status team is on the top. You can see this. They providing the commands, CLI commands. Detonate nothing. Actually it is okay creating for the attacks, real-time attacks. And this is core logic. So this is the command, and this is generating the how we can generate with different scenarios and the techniques. So that will be captured here, and this is also documented. And this also we have some law. They are provide a list of example. You can choose that. Okay, then you can reproduce. And also you can able to integrate with the CI/CD DevOps. Okay, so this is the thing. And these are the folder directory. So it is developed with the Go language, and it giving the commands. So you can use the command, and after that you have a document and examples, and you have a GitHub. And the key component is CLI commands. Also you can able to integrate with the Terraform, because most of the cloud infrastructures we are using for the Terraform, so you can integrate. And also it's having a state management and detonation logs. Detonation is nothing, it's only for the reproducing for this real time attack use cases. And this particular application is fully developed using for the Go languages and Terraform. And this because we are integrating with the various cloud service provider like AWS, Azure, GCP, and Kubernetes. Okay, it's also licensed for the MIT and Apache, so it's open source. Practical implementations. So use case, the primary use cases and secondary use cases. The primary use cases, SIM validations, red teaming exercise, training, and compliance and testing. So red team is the team which will be in organizations. They will be try to create real time attack scenarios and use cases, so that they can able to identify what are the attackers, or what are the attackers may attack our security. So they will be preparing for well in advance. So how we can give a remedies in case if it is any attack, or how we can take the steps in the proactively. So that is the responsible for the red team exercise. So this the status red team, the tool is very important for this team. Okay, secondary use cases, configuring and auditing, identifying misconfigurations. Okay, that easily you can able to status. This tool can easily identify what are the misconfigurations, and also how we can integrate with SIM. So because we can collect all the logs, then after that we can do all this analysis. Then we can create various dashboards. Okay, and the next thing is it's also integrated to continuous threat exposure management. So basically, whenever any threats is any predicted, then immediately we can provide the remedies. So real-time AI and data security use cases. This is very important because nowadays actually most of the project is we are onboarding using for the AI with the real-time data. Continuous red teaming with AI agents. So continuous red teaming with AI agents. Okay, this is really very good use cases and applications. So that applications we can use Stratus Red Team can be paired with AI agents to automate continuous attack simulations for various cloud providers in real time, identifying the vulnerabilities. Okay, like suppose we have LLM model, no? How the model have misbehaved, then we can able to identify because of the data poisoning. Anomaly detections in cloud logs by detonating attacks. Stratus Red Team generates logs that AI-powered SIEMs analyze in real time to detect anomalies, reducing the false positives. Okay, yeah. Automate the threat responses, yes. And the next thing is detections in the threat data that already we discussed, and predictive threat analysis. These are really very useful use cases that we need to study in depth. Okay, in coming up sessions, I'll covering this framework solutions. So these are the major frameworks right now. Every organization is talking about. One thing is CTEM and TRISM. CTEM framework, continuous monitoring and mitigate threat across organizations, and there you can predominantly you can able to use for the status red team tool. What it does, it schedule regular uh, detonations to identify the exposure gap. The log generated can feed into CTEM platform for real-time risk scoring and prioritizations. This is enabling proactive patching and policy updates. Benefits NCATS resiliency by automating threat discovery and aligning with framework like MITRE ATT&CK. So TRISM framework solutions. TRISM leverage AI to share threat intelligence across organizations, fostering collaborative defense against cyber threats. Usage. Attack simulations can generate logs, share the TRISM networks, allowing peer to analyze TTP to develop collective countermeasures. AI can correlate these logs with the global threat data enhanced detections. Benefit improve threat intelligence, sharing the strength and community driven security through the real time insights. Awesome. Okay, next thing is apart from this, there is organization, open source organization OWASP, that okay that actually how we can attack LLMs. They're also creating a lot of tools and the framework. Using that we can able to produce various attacks, and we can train them, and well in advance we know how to what are the attacks will come, how to protect. Yeah, how to okay. So this mitigation strategy with the status red team, so it will help us to go for the if there is any the prompt injections attacks, then using this status red team we can able to identify in advance, then we can plan for the remedies. You can simulate attacks to test LLM input validations, use status to generate malicious prompts and validate filters, ensuring strict input controls and human oversight. Insecure output handling, training data poisoning, emulate data tampering scenarios. Example, because when you want to create the prompt, actually we need to give a tempering set. The tempering set 0 or 1, depending upon that, and we'll be getting a response in the deep think or chain of thought approach. Regularly simulate these attacks using Stratus Red Team analyze logs with AI tools and apply OWASP and guidelines to secure LLM development and testing. How Stratus Red Team help for CTEM and AI test and OWS. Status team supports CTEM by enabling continuous simulations of cloud-specific attacks to identify the pre-attacks vulnerabilities in real time. Same for TRISMs and OWS also. Then MITRE attacks and MITRE ATLAS matrices. This is very important because they will be covering all the attacks and these use cases. The tactics, high level goals of an attacker, technique specific method to achieve those attacks, sub techniques, more granular actions with the techniques, cloud metrics, specialized actions of the cloud specific TTPs. List of tactics. Reconnaissance, gathering information to plan attacks, resource development, initial assess, executions, persistence, privilege escalations, defense evacuation, credentials access, discovery, lateral movement, collections, command and control, and exfiltrations and impact. Relevance to status teams. Status teams aligns with this MITRE attack framework, particularly the cloud matrix, to simulate realistic attack scenarios. Each attack technique in status mapped to specific attack tactics and techniques. How status red team leveraging MITRE attack simulations, detections, validations, training and mapping, and custom techniques. Implementations. List map techniques. Use status list command. Denote, detonate specific techniques. You can use status detonate AWS persistence. Using this command you can able to see that how we can create this simulations for the particular attacks. And mighty atlas matrix. Okay, so you see the list of tactics: data poisoning, manipulating training data into compromise AI model integrity, model evaluations, crafting input to mislead AI model to outputs, model inversions, extracting training data to model parameters, model theft, stealing AI model their intellectual property, adversarial programming, repurposing AI model to unintended task, supply chain attacks, targeting AI development or deployment pipelines. Relevance to Stratus Red Team. While Stratus Team is primarily designed for cloud native attack emulations, it can extend it to support Atlas by developing custom techniques to stimulate AI specific attacks. This is particularly relevant for organizations using for AI driven cloud workloads. How Stratus Red Team leveraging Verticless? Custom attack simulation, detection validations, training, and integrations. So how to implement, develop the custom techniques, analyze the log, and collaborate so that we can get more benefits, so we can able to cover for these attacks. And these are the following case studies for your reference. Okay, so how we can use the commands. So okay, so you can use this. Okay, which cloud you are going to use, then you can provide this I mean the environment variable using for the export command. You can, now I'm going for this AWS. Okay, yeah, the next thing is how to install list techniques, detonate, what are the status command that is captured here. And this is for the Azure provider. And how we can do for this security integrations. So security integration, important thing is security posture management and risk scoring methodology, automate remedies, team integrations. So stats team is status red team tool will be using for CTEM, and this is SOC security operations center will use it, and red teaming will use efficiently. And automations and workflow integrations, you can automate with MCP, that's a capture here. And you can also use this, I mean, this no code and 8 and workflow integration. You can do that. And apart from this, general Python also you can do integrations. Apart, it's supporting various security standards. So these are listed here. And so they are using for the algorithms, state machines, Terraform orchestrations, memory mapping. So these are the main business logic they have used and implemented. And this is this architecture. And second thing is, if you want to support for the community, you can use this. Thank you so much.